Welcome back. New York Governor Kathy Hochul delivered her State of the State address on Tuesday, outlining all of her priorities for the 2026 legislative session, including free childcare in New York City. But some lawmakers worry that the North Country could get overlooked. That's why I sat down with our Plattsburgh reporter, Sophia Falbo. She covered the State of the State address and the reaction from the North Country. We had a deeper conversation about what New Yorkers want to see over the next few months. Sophia Falbo is joining us this Sunday from our Plattsburgh studio. Sophia, there's a lot to unpack here. Generally speaking, what should people know?
Hi, Adrian. Thanks for having me. Governor Hochul's speech lasted just under an hour, but it covered a wide variety of issues. She says she wants to build on efforts to improve public safety, build more housing, and make the state more affordable for the next generation of New Yorkers. Now, I want to play a clip for you. This was just one part of her speech as she highlighted some of the progress that's already underway.
We secured the most significant housing deal in half a century, so young families can put down roots. And we expanded childcare, capped the cost of insulin, and launched the nation's very first paid parental leave program. That's how you change lives.
Now, Sophia, you mentioned affordability as one of the governor's priorities. That's a critical part of making the state more appealing, especially for younger families looking to settle down. In the North Country, one issue we've heard about frequently are energy costs. Around this time last year, NYSEG reported a 60 to 70% increase in costs due to rising energy prices. And the governor launched an audit for all utility companies in New York. Has there been any movement on that front?
Yes, there has been, Adrian. The governor's agenda includes a few measures to protect customers. First, she wants to streamline the implementation of energy assistance programs. Hochul says a lot of public funds are underutilized because people who are eligible for help to lower their energy bills aren't applying. She says she also wants to require utility companies to prove their operating costs are below the rate of inflation before they increase rates. And she wants the Department of Public Service to crack down on hidden fees. That's also something lawmakers in the North Country have been pressuring the administration for. But Assemblyman Michael Cashman and Senator Dan Steck both say that they would have liked more recognition for their districts in the governor's address.
I really get the sense that we are going to be focusing an awful lot this session and this budget on doing for New York City, and I fear at the rest of the state's expense.
I will be looking into all of the proposals to ensure that they are right for our region. There are real concerns in our communities. We know there are concerns about safety and rural health care and infrastructure that is in dire need of repair.
Now, Sophia, we know New York is a big state with a lot of different challenges, but even after the governor delivered her State of the State address, reading the whole 160-page booklet, there are only a few mentions of the North Country, and one proposal that stood out has to do with housing development. What can you tell us about that?
It's interesting you bring that up, Adrian. Hochul says she wants to change the state constitution to redevelop the dormant prisons in the Adirondacks, specifically Camp Gabriel's and Mariah Shock. Camp Gabriel's closed in Franklin County back in 2009, and Mariah Shock, a facility in Essex County, closed in 2022. Advocates and North Country lawmakers have been pushing to repurpose these properties for years. The problem is that they're located within the Adirondack Park, which means they're subject to tight restrictions under the Forever Wild Clause in the Constitution. The clause was created to protect natural resources in the park, but in order to build or sell the property, you have to amend the Constitution.
And you mentioned that others have been trying to do this for years. Why is it taking so long?
Well, it's a complicated process. To change the state constitution, a bill has to pass both chambers of the legislature in consecutive sessions. Then it goes to the governor for a signature. After that, it has to go on the ballot for voters to make the final decision in the next general election. Senator Steck has passed legislation at least 5 times in the Senate, but it's always stalled in the Assembly. Hochul says she would also add land to the park preserve in her proposal, which could be a selling point for environmental groups. It also helps that she has support from lawmakers in the Senate and the Assembly.
Mariah Shock, Camp Gabriel's, which is outside of my district, but important because That is state land that's been sitting there vacant, unused, in a quagmire, if you will, without any plan whatsoever to address that state property. Finally, we've got something moving forward. That's a win for the Adirondacks.
That was Assemblyman Matt Simpson, who represents part of Essex County. He says he was glad to see some positive proposals come from the governor, but he's waiting to see how she plans to pay for everything in her executive budget.
Well, that's really interesting, Sophia. Thank you. We'll be watching to see what happens as the legislative session progresses and what she puts in her executive budget coming this Tuesday.
Thanks for having me.